Since the first video game was created, which was Pong, many video games today have been adapted and became better than the old ones, and some even being better than their predecessors. This could be about many things. It could be about graphics, it could be about gameplay, it could be about storytelling, or just the aesthetic of the game. However, even though all these reasons are very good, I feel like not a lot of people are talking about the video game's protagonists and just the main characters of the game, and how their personality, their goal, or even like their character development can improve the game and make it better. I want to discuss about it and talk to with a few people and actually mention other like video game characters that have made games even more better. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So Jose here is a student in Barnfield and has been studying the course of gaming,
Game design, yeah.
the game design, yeah, and he's just started studying, character design. Is that true?
Well, we haven't done character design. I think that's for next year. But throughout this year, we've done side scrollers, first person, third person. So for a side scroller, you be able to see the character, but
Yeah.
we wasn't. It was a bit advanced for us to add the animations and the characters.
So in these like games you played, is there like unique characters in there?
Yeah, like in Overwatch, I think there's roughly around 24 characters altogether. Each comes with their own designs, characteristics, and backstory. So the character I really like right now is Life Weaver. He's a new Overwatch character. Actually, no, I like May. Basically, with May, her story is like she's a scientist and she got put into cryo sleep. But when she woke up, all of her fellow scientists was dead. Like they died in their sleep, and she was the only one that woke up. And like her design is like is a scientist, but with more like how like people in the Arctic dress like with those big furry coats and that, and she's also Chinese.
Oh, okay. So like there's more diversity.
Yeah, there's like we got blacks, robots as well.
Ooh,
Like yeah, we got all types of characters in there.
okay. Thank well that's sort of the thing I've finished all the questionnaire. So thank you for taking part in this interview
problem.
and hope you like pass your course.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, thanks. Character design is an art form revolutionized by new technology. But what does it take to create a gaming character? Gaming tutor Said
Namati?
Namati, thank you, is here to tell us about the process of it. So thank you for coming.
Thanks for inviting.
So first, where does the inspiration comes from?
Inspiration could come from so many other things, so many other sources. For instance, you could, if it's based on a real story, so your character could come from a real person. If it is something futuristic, then by watching other movies, perhaps other stories, other
Okay.
comic books. If it's something about, I mean, if you look at the unicorns, there isn't any unicorn, a horse with a horn coming out of the head, right?
Yeah.
Someone just came up with that, right? Now, was this an inspiration? Who knows? The inspiration, it's again goes back to your creativity and how creative you are. Then from person to person, it could be different.
Okay. Yeah. What type of software does like people who create like characters use? So like,
Like you said, 3D Studio Max,
mm,
Blender, Modbox. There are few good ones out there where you can go and use them, but these three are probably the most popular one out there you can use for character design.
well, that's all the questions I have. So thank you for joining this
No
interview,
problem.
and I
Pleasure
hope
for
you
inviting me.
do good.
Thank you very much, and I hope I wish the best for you.
The gaming world has over the years gained a huge community filled with gamers that express their love and passion with video games. Either it's making them or just playing them. Here I have my friend Javante, who is a gamer and that has played multiple games throughout the years. Thank you for joining us. Javante.
You're very welcome, my friend. How's it been?
It's been very good, yeah?
Good. I'm ready to for you to interview me.
Yeah, okay. Let's start this.
Yep.
So the first question is, how long have you been playing video games?
Shoot, that's a really good question, to be fair. I've been playing video games practically all my life. Like, ever since I was around 4 or 5, I loved playing on, like, the Nintendo Wii, playing on, like, basically like, any Nintendo game. And when I was around, I believe, 7, I got my first proper console, which is an Xbox 360. And, yeah, I played a lot of games on it. I spent a lot of hours on, like, games like Minecraft, yeah, just Minecraft, I suppose. But yeah, as I got older, I got more consoles, and yeah, I currently I own the PS5.
So what do you think about main characters today in video games? And do you think that they are well written and make the game more fun and memorable to play?
Well, for starters, what I think about like main characters like in this generation is that they have improved like a lot, like by an extreme mile compared to main characters of the old generation. For example, I want to say Mario. In the original like Super Mario Brothers games, there was like no personality. You just took control of a guy who was jumping around Koopas, turtles, and going down pipes. However, later on in the franchise, like for example, Super Mario Odyssey, you actually see his personality, and you can actually see like his actual emotions, whether Peach is being abducted by Bowser once again. You can see him panic as he chases them through the skies and that. But yeah, as like to answer your question, they have improved quite a bit, like game wise, how they look, and just how the personality is really. But yeah.
Yeah, with games, like Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War, and of course the Super Mario Brothers, being successful games like God of War, like became Game of the Year in 2018. What do you think of the main characters in those type of games?
Well, I'm not too sure about Red Dead Redemption, or was it Red Dead Redemption 2, as I haven't played neither of those two games yet. But I can answer for like God of War. It's been a really big franchise on like the PlayStation consoles, and obviously your protagonist is a Greek god called Kratos, and he basically just goes around killing like other gods, but for a good purpose, because all the other gods are really evil for some reason. I'm not too sure, but it's just I believe he gained a lot of popularity simply because of obviously he's a father now, so he has to look after his son Atreus, but he teaches his son life lessons and like how to hunt, yeah, how to fish, stuff like basically just how to like life lessons that are just needed in life at all. And so overall, I believe that Kratos is an amazing protagonist with an amazing plot line, and his story is just out of this world. One of my favorite protagonists.
Yeah, but also since the game Last of Us 2 and like Horizon, there's been a new spike in like risen of like more female protagonists. So like, do you think that there are more protagonist females now that are like on the level with Arthur Morgan, Kratos, and all the other like male protagonists?
Oh, that's a question really. I feel like if I'd say no, people aren't gonna be happy. However, there has been many female protagonists like in the past, like Lara Croft. That's all I can think of at the moment. But I know for a fact there's many other female protagonists. Like I believe they're practically on the same level. Like in Last of Us Part 2, spoiler, sorry if you haven't seen the game, but Joel dies. So the whole plot line of the game itself, of part 2, sorry, is literally Ellie just on revenge, and the gameplay is amazing. The plot is, but Ellie's character, I absolutely adore her. She's kind of just a smart ass, to be fair. Going back to the question, I believe female protagonists, despite there being not as many as male protagonists, they're definitely on the same level as male ones.
So that's all the questions that I have. Is there any questions that you want to say?
Yeah, there was one question I want to ask you. So I'm gonna become the host for a sec now.
Okay.
So what is your favorite character, main character, whatever? Sorry.
Oh man, it should be really interesting. Okay, there's so many good characters. I mean, I know I played loads of games and I became attached to these characters, but there was this one game that I like that had this character that I adored, and he's a reason that he's probably like an influence to another character in the same franchise. That character I'm talking about is Arthur Morgan. So Arthur Morgan is just this cowboy in this gang, Dutch Van der Linde, and we see him, riding with the crew and riding until the end where they spoil that Dutches and Micah betrayed them. And we also see him, mentoring John, he's to Arthur. John is like a brother to him, a younger brother, and you can see them from becoming, giving him life lessons, giving him advice, and we also see him go through the stage of is this disease? I can't. Tuberculosis, yeah, tuberculosis, and we see him go through it, and we see him be more remorseful. You see him be more, kinder to other people, and we just basically see, and overall, we see him with a bunch of different characters and friendships, and some that even how he reacted to them dying. So yeah, that's why I kind of like Arthur Morgan.
Well, yeah, that's all my questions, and I'll no longer be your host. I'm gonna transition back to the interviewee, and here's your host.
Yeah, that's all the questions we all have. Thank you, Javante, for coming to this interview.
It's all right. What's your Ejaz?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm happy to be here, mate. Anytime.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you do good in your course and that.
Yeah, you too, my man.
In conclusion, video game characters can be hard to write in order to make them more in-depth and more likable. But with good writing and with some good voice actors, you can make that possible. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay fresh.